when you buy at a certain price point and in certain neighborhoods, and then you redevelop these neighborhoods, what is the response from the people that live in the neighborhoods?
Yeah. So the thing about us, if we going into a spot, especially if we're new there, we're gonna be like fixtures there. You're gonna see us on the block. We're gonna talk to the people up the street. Somebody got a car wash business they doing in the backyard. Best believe my car's pulling up, right? So there is that, because we become of and part of that community. And we are really big on a lot of times, all the time, actually, we're buying vacant blighted properties, right? So properties that have been sitting empty for 20, 30 years sometimes. So when we come in and we're the only people who not only buy the house, because a lot of people can buy a cheap house, not everybody's actually getting it done. So we're coming in, getting them completed, and turning this into spaces to bring in more life. People are excited when they see us in neighborhoods and really actually getting the work done. And not just that, making sure that people who own their properties or tenants there or whatever, that they're able to be part of that change, be able to keep their taxes low. If we're doing a house and it's raising the property values, it's great for the homeowners because they're able to build wealth, but not if they're on fixed income and their taxes skyrocket. And so we're able to make sure we're informing the community association, homeowners, all of these folks on how to take advantage of things like the homestead tax credit, for example, and keep their taxes low so they can ride our wave of, raising property values and build wealth rather than having the displacement. So we're really big on development without displacement. So the way to do that is to be of and for the community, focusing on what the community wants in their own neighborhoods rather than just coming in and cashing out. But also educating folks on how to make sure that this transition or any transition is positive for them. Because if it's not us, it's going to be someone else, right? So we have to be very intentional about making sure not only are we there doing the work, but if we can't be all places at all times, that's why we have things like Next Gen and our mentorship to make sure that there's folks who think like us, who know what they're doing and have the right intention, are doing things in other neighborhoods simultaneously the same way. You'll find them hanging out on the, hanging them out on the corners in the community as well, because that's what we coach them and teach them to do.
That's awesome. So also the other thing, I see, they be having things like the Zero Violence Baltimore and all of that kind of stuff there. What kind of impact does your redevelopment have on those kind of initiatives?
So when you think about kind of like a vacant property, or even a vacant block, right? And you think about those impacts, it's an eyesore, yes. It's deteriorated, it's ugly, sure. But there's negative energy too, right? There's infestations, there's rodents, there's potentially violence and crime. There's kids who have to walk by those properties day in and day out, back and forth, going to school, and they look at it and it's literally a symbol of, okay, the local government, they haven't invested in here. They haven't invested in the community in which I live. If they don't care about it, why should I? So then it's throwing trash and dumping and all these types of things. But when we come in and we take pride in the legacy residents and ensuring that the legacy residents can take advantage of the different things that are happening. When we come in and we fix those up, then all of a sudden, okay, cool. Like it almost like compounds the different efforts that are happening, right? So if there's a zero violence program, or if there's all these types of different programs and initiatives, and then at the same time, for-profit developers like us are coming in too, it amplifies it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we're all about collaboration. So a lot of the organizations that are doing amazing work in Baltimore, we all have our role. We play our position and we support and collaborate and do whatever we can for everyone else, because collectively, that's how we see the change. Because if it's not us, right? If it's not us, it's going to be someone else. And I think that's something that a lot of people have in Baltimore really appreciated about the work that we do. And beyond that, I think Phil hit on something really important. And I always sum it up as like, we have to see the opportunity in our neighborhoods first. And we can't really, it's hard to expect someone to see value and opportunity in their own neighborhoods, in themselves and all these things, when you're literally walking through decay every day. Like
Yes.
that's the houses that we're doing. There's a front wall and a tree growing up the middle that nobody's thought about in a couple decades. Like that transformation in just visually seeing something different, and then you see us with our daughter pulling up and doing the work, like that changes the narrative from the inside out as we're changing our communities from the outside in.
That's amazing work.
Absolutely, it is. It's so powerful.